position. Not quite sure, there's a late distraction there, wasn't there, for the 93. He's back down outside the top 6 at the moment. It's a big head shake as well on the brakes of Marquez. Oh, it's been a disastrous start. Was that Acosta? Zarco's definitely been cleaned out. But what happened to Marquez off the line? Or before it was lights out?
Yeah, his problem started before the red lights even went out. He's recovered it somewhat. He's in 4th place. It's Menyala from Alex Marquez and Quartararo. Viñales was away well, and then now breaks himself into turn 1 and dropped a bit. Marquez trying to put on the inside of Quartararo, who with that slightly sore left shoulder jumps out of the way.
Oh, that was Viñales almost out of the seat there as well, wasn't it? It was Binder, the South African, on that hard at front, with Johan Zarco has gone down the first corner. Big pre-sprint drama then here for the world champion Marquez. Jack, you were down there, what happened?
I was right in front of pole position. He leant over to the left-hand side of the handlebar. Whether he forgot to put launch control on or something like that, but it distracted him 3 seconds before the lights went out, and that's why we saw him plummeting backwards.
Yeah, he only just popped his head up, didn't he, when it was lights out. It's getting pretty frenetic further down the field. That's Gian Antonio, who started the sprint down in 7th place. The Italian fans are already roaring themselves hoarse here. It was Pecco Bagnaia then leads this first lap here. It must be a dramatic start to this sprint. Zarco and Binder out at turn 1.
So Quartararo runs 4th then, ahead of Viñales. They're the first non-Ducati. So it's Menyala from Alex Marquez and Marc Marquez. Top 3 have already put a few butt lanes between themselves and Quartararo. Then it's the KTMs of Viñales and Acosta, the VR46 Ducatis of Morbidelli and Gian Antonio. And it was Pecco who was elbowed wide by Dittier as he was making his way through the order.
It's already a 17th of the season so far for Binder. They go now 3 abreast, 360 km an hour. Alex Marquez has the inside line, threading it through the eye of a needle, though goes Marc. Pincer movement between Bagnaia and Alex Marquez. This is a throwback to Marquez, Petrucci and Dovizioso in the Italian Grand Prix, isn't it, 5-6 years ago? Unbelievable actually at the front. Alex it is that leads out of turn 3. Marquez then, the 73 version of, leads this sprint. Bagnaia under attack here into 4th from Marc. Marc's got the inside line, he goes up in 2nd place.
Some serious bravery being employed there down into San Donato. Bagnaia desperately didn't want to give that one up, but he was forced to give it up. He was trying to go around the outside into turn 1 of Alex Marquez, but Alex Marquez would not let him through.
That hard front tyre choice has not paid dividends for either Binder or Acosta. The pair of them not even made it a lap and a half through this. We can just about sort of regroup here and pick the bones out of it. This is what happened then to Marquez. Haven't engaged maybe with the launch control. What happened there? He went for the left handlebar, leans over.
The lights were going out.
Unbelievable. I mean, he just managed to get himself back into his starting position as it was lights out. Look at this. This is milliseconds before the lights went out. He barely had a chance to get the arm back on the handlebar, and it was, we're racing.
I mean, better doing it that way than starting without it, because he dropped further back. I did see Binder with his arms out, and that's clearly why. He was looking up as if to say what happened there. It was a little nudge from Fabio Di Gian Antonio into San Donato that sent Binder into Zarco.
Domino effect. Binder and Zarco, wrong place, wrong time. That's a cruel look for the pair of those. Two of the most experienced.
Have his eyes on what was going on up ahead of him. He's having to focus on what's going on behind instead.
It just looks like the giant end of that factory Yamaha, but we're now into the horsepower shootout zone where Quartararo is a sitting duck. Can he somehow hold off Aldeguer on the GP24 Ducati? Do you know what? It looks like he will do. In the braking zone we go. Oh, what, 360 kilometres an hour. Aldeguer has just seized the inside line. Is he going to get his stop? He runs in a little bit wide. Quartararo's going to hug the inside curve, and he does just about hold on to 9th. Although Aldeguer then had the inside line going up the hill into 2, and he now is up into P9.
I mean, Aldeguer then, who started from 12th place on the group, now made his way up into that final points position, which does now include all 6 Ducatis and their home Grand Prix. There's a Ducati grandstand on the outside of Correntaio, and they're about to watch and celebrate another Ducati sprint podium lockout.
It's over as a contest, I'm afraid, unless Marc Marquez drops the ball once again, because he's on the final lap. And it's on the final lap that he's established a 1-second lead and more for the very first time in this sprint. As Alex just thought, you know what, it's not worth the risk. And let's just pick up the 9 important World Championship points. Let's just lose 3 to Mark. The gap will creep up to 35 points in the championship between the two Marquez brothers. It looks like Menyala is going to hold off the persistent challenge of Viñales, but through Biondetti 1 and 2 goes Marquez. A sprint which started in disastrous fashion for the 93 from his 100th career pole position is a sprint that's going to finish in stunning style for Marquez. He's in red, the factory Ducati red for the first time in Mugello, and he is victorious in the sprint here in the Grand Prix of Italy. He takes the checker flag nearly 1.5 seconds clear.